Dear ladies and gentlemen, sometimes we wait for the mountain to move before we take a step, but what if I told you, it's your step that starts the movement? You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You don't need to have the perfect plan to begin. You just need faith for the next move, because every step you take in the right direction, no matter how small, counts. Some of you are waiting for a breakthrough, waiting for a sign, waiting for clarity. But you don't realize the breakthrough isn't out there, it's in here. Inside your consistency, inside your obedience, inside your daily walk. Every step you take when no one's clapping for you. Every choice you make when no one sees it. Every decision to rise when it would have been easier to quit. That's where legends are built. See, greatness is not found in grand moments. It's built in the quiet ones. It's built when you choose to forgive. When you choose to show up, when you choose to stay the course, and those steps, those painful, humble, quiet steps, they count. Some of you feel like your steps are too small. You feel like you're stuck, like nothing is shifting. But let me remind you, just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean your steps are pointless. God doesn't waste obedience, He multiplies it. Your walk of faith is never wasted. Let me tell you this, heaven counts what the world overlooks. Every tear you cry in secret, every prayer you whisper in the dark, every time you kept going when it hurt, that counts. So don't despise your small beginnings. Don't let impatience rob you of progress. Because slow steps forward are still forward. And one day, you'll look back and realize that those tiny steps took you further than one big leap ever could. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be faithful. You don't have to finish it today. You just have to start, because every step counts. 10 key points of the speech: small steps are powerful. Progress isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's just the decision to keep showing up, even when it's hard. Clarity comes from movement. Don't wait to understand everything before you start. Often, God reveals direction as you go. Consistency builds character. Your daily habits are shaping your destiny more than any single big moment. Private battles lead to public victories. The strength you gain in silence is the strength you'll use in the storm. God honors obedience, not perfection. Your responsibility is to walk in obedience. His job is to bring the results. You're closer than you think. What looks like a delay might just be divine development. Your story is being written in steps, not chapters. Don't rush to the climax. Embrace every scene of your journey. Faith without steps is fantasy. Belief alone isn't enough. You've got to move. Faith walks. Your pace doesn't disqualify you. You don't have to keep up with anyone else. Just keep going. Heaven counts what the world overlooks. Every small act of faith, every quiet yes, every hidden act of love, it matters. Would you like me to expand any of these 10 points into full paragraphs, or turn this into a video script format with dramatic timing cues and emphasis styles? Absolutely. Here's the *** expanded version of key point 1 *** from **. Every step counts. Written in a powerful, emotionally engaging style without a subtitle or conclusion. It's easy to overlook the small things. We live in a world that celebrates overnight success, viral moments, and dramatic breakthroughs. But can I tell you something powerful? Most breakthroughs weren't really breaks. They were builds . Quiet, unseen, daily builds. One small step at a time. That small prayer you whispered in your car on the way to work, that counts. That decision to get up one more morning even when depression told you to stay in bed, that counts. That act of forgiveness when bitterness felt easier, that counts. You see, the world may not applaud it. Your family may not even notice it, but heaven does. The most powerful transformations in your life won't come from giant leaps. They'll come from steady, small steps taken over time. The step to choose healing over hiding. The step to have the hard conversation instead of avoiding it. The step to say no to what's familiar and yes to what's faithful. That's where true strength is born, not in moments of spotlight, but in the shadows of quiet decision making. Think about a seed. It's small, almost invisible once planted, but deep in the soil when no one's watching, it's doing something supernatural. It's breaking open, it's growing roots, it's reaching for something higher, and that process takes time. Just because it's not visible doesn't mean it's not valuable. Just because you don't see the result today doesn't mean your effort didn't matter. And that's how your progress works. You take one small step toward healing, and then another. You forgive once, and then again. You read a page of that book. You go for that walk. You write the first sentence of that dream God placed in your heart. And maybe it feels slow, maybe it feels insignificant, but it's not, because when you stack enough small steps, they build a staircase to a life of purpose, a path paved with courage, endurance, and trust. So today, even if it feels tiny, even if no one sees it, take the step, that decision to grow, even just an inch. That's the kind of obedience that moves mountains, one step at a time, of course. Here's the ** expanded version of key point 2 ** from *. Every step counts, *, delivered in the powerful, passionate, heart-hitting tone you're looking for, ** without subtitle or conclusion, *. Some of us are stuck not because we're lazy, not because we're unmotivated, but because we're waiting for clarity. We're waiting for everything to make perfect sense before we take the first step. We want the blueprint before we move, the map before we walk, the promise before we plant. But that's not how God usually works. God doesn't always give you clarity before obedience. Sometimes He gives you motion before direction, and it's only when you take a step, when you move forward in faith, that the picture starts to come together. Think about it. When you're driving at night, your headlights don't show you the entire road. They give you just enough to see what's in front of you, but that's all you need to keep going, and as you move, more of the road is revealed. That's how God works. That's how purpose unfolds. That's how calling is clarified * in motion *. You don't need to see the finish line to start the race. You just need enough light to take the next step. Because clarity doesn't always precede action, sometimes it follows it. Sometimes the answers you're praying for aren't waiting in the future. They're hiding in your movement. They're wrapped in the step you're afraid to take. And the enemy wants you to stay frozen. He wants you to think, until I know exactly how this ends, I'm not moving. But faith isn't about knowing every outcome. Faith is about trusting the one who holds the outcome. And you honor God more with your movement than with your certainty. That idea you've been sitting on, that dream you've buried under doubt, that relationship you've been afraid to repair. Maybe you won't see the full path today, but you've seen enough to take one step. And that step might be the key to unlocking the next season of your life. We keep waiting on God for the full picture, but sometimes God is waiting on us for the first move. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to move with what you've got, because movement in faith creates momentum in purpose. It's not about being fearless, it's about being willing to step into uncertainty, willing to walk into the unknown, willing to trust that your next step is part of a greater plan that's already been written. So stop waiting for everything to be clear. Sometimes you have to * walk it out * before you * work it out *. Absolutely. Here's the * expanded version of key point 3 * from * every step counts *, written in the same bold, emotionally charged tone, with no subtitle and no conclusion. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's not the kind of thing people post about. It doesn't get likes. It doesn't go viral. But let me tell you, * consistency builds what charisma can't sustain *, because anyone can start with passion, but only the consistent finish with purpose. You don't rise to greatness on the strength of a single moment. You rise because you kept showing up when it stopped being exciting. You rise because you chose discipline over drama, growth over comfort, obedience over options, and that choice wasn't just once. It was daily. Quiet, repetitive, even boring, but it * mattered *. We want the breakthrough, but we often forget that the breakthrough is made of bricks, little bricks, the brick of prayer when you don't feel anything, The brick of doing the right thing when no one notices, the brick of resisting temptation in silence, the brick of pushing through even when your heart says stop, one brick at a time, one step at a time. And all of that it asterisk counts asterisk. Every habit you practice in the dark becomes the strength you carry in the light. The world may never applaud your consistency, but God uses it to build your capacity. You don't become who you were born to be through one loud shout of motivation. You become that person through small decisions stacked on top of each other, day after day after day. Some of you think you're failing because nothing is happening fast, but fast is rarely faithful. Fast fades. Fast burns out, but faithful builds. What you're doing in silence is building a testimony in the spirit. Your consistency is teaching your soul to trust when your feelings can't keep up. Don't underestimate the power of repetition. Repetition is what forms character. Repetition is what rewires your thinking. You want transformation. It doesn't happen from just one sermon, one gym session, one deep talk. It happens from choosing again, believing again, forgiving again, trusting again, even when it hurts, even when it's hard. Asterisk, especially asterisk when it's hard, because that's where the real battle is won, not in the moments of glory, but in the daily grind. That 6 a.m. alarm, that 15-minute prayer, that apology you keep offering even when they don't change, that refusal to quit even when it feels like nothing's working, that's where the fire is forged. That's where you're becoming unshakable. So don't confuse silence for stagnation. Don't confuse discipline for dullness. What you're doing in faith, even if it's the same thing over and over, isn't a waste. It's worship. And every time you choose to stay consistent, you're building something that storms can't shake, critics can't break, and time can't erase. Absolutely. Here's the ** expanded version of key point 4 ** from *. Every step counts *, written in the same deep, raw, and faith-filled style. No subtitle, no conclusion. Some of your greatest battles will never make it to the public eye. They won't be posted on Instagram. They won't be written into your resume. They won't come with applause or recognition. But those battles, the ones you fight behind closed doors, the ones that no one even knows you're struggling with *, those are the battles that shape you *. Because the fight you win in private becomes the strength you walk in publicly. You see, it's easy to impress people when the lights are on. It's easy to speak confidently on a stage or smile in a photo. But God's not interested in what happens * on the stage *. If you're falling apart * in the secret place *. It's not the performance that matters, it's the process. And the process often happens in the shadows. What do you do when no one's looking? What do you choose when there's no credit given? Do you still pray when you don't feel goosebumps? Do you still love people who never say thank you? Do you still show up when it feels like your effort is invisible? Because those are the real victories, the silent ones, the unseen ones, the kind of victories where nobody cheers for you but heaven takes notice, the kind where your heart wanted to give up, but your spirit whispered, try again. That counts. That matters. You don't get oil without crushing. You don't get strength without struggle. And the most powerful anointing in your life often comes through the pain you never posted about. Some of you are carrying wounds no one sees. But it's those very wounds that are giving you wisdom. It's those scars that are producing something sacred. And that private pain, it's preparing you for public purpose. You think the devil attacks your public life. No, he wants your private one. He wants to steal your prayer life. He wants to choke your joy in solitude. He wants to corrupt your thoughts when no one is watching. Because he knows if he can ruin you in private, your public influence will collapse. But God, he does his best work in hidden places. He grows roots before he grows fruit. He works in your quiet yes, your quiet surrender, your quiet obedience. That's where he builds foundation. And that foundation is what keeps you standing when storms hit and when crowds fade. So don't underestimate your silent struggles, the tears you cry alone, the temptations you resist in secret, the choices you make that no one claps for, They're not wasted, they're sacred. They're storing up a strength in you that the world can't explain. Some people might not understand the peace you carry later. They'll think it came easy, but you'll know. It was paid for in silent warfare, in midnight prayers, in lonely seasons where quitting felt easier but purpose whispered louder. That's why every private battle you're facing, it counts. It's not punishment, it's preparation. It's building something asterisk stronger than applause asterisk. It's building you.